Welcome to Out the Trunk with Jordan and Darius. My name is Darius. That's D's All Up in Your Area on all socials.
And I'm Jordan. This is Jordan be writing on all socials.
This is our segment where we like to let you guys know what's on our mind, what we've been seeing on the internet this week. And unless you live in the Pacific Northwest, you dealt with the storm.
Yeah.
That's pretty much the only part of the country that did not deal with this. So we had a little snowstorm come through, and it was a real one. And I just want to give a quick PSA to the fellas, and I guess it applies to the ladies. That young lady or young gentleman that you've been talking to, Chad, maybe went out a few times. If they disappeared this weekend, you already have your answer. Like you just know. You don't need to follow up. You don't need to ask nobody
Yeah, you
what's going
go ahead,
on.
delete that number.
You ain't gotta go that far. You just know where you stand in the rotation. You
Yeah,
are not in the
correct.
starting lineup. You're not getting a lot of shots up.
You are the 15th man.
You just
They may be
whatever.
sending you down to the G League.
The power wasn't out. She didn't
Yep.
forget. You
Phone wasn't
just
dead.
she was just busy, and you do with that information what you will.
They do not like you. They do not care about you. And that's okay because it's part of the game, man.
The best thing you can ask for is information, and you got all the information you needed when
Yes, yes.
when that
Yeah.
phone stopped being responded to, when everybody where'd she go?
Where the hell was she going? Where was she going? Where was he going? What was he doing? What was she doing?
Come on,
Come on,
man.
guys.
2 plus 2 is 4. So what you
Yeah,
do?
it ain't no mixed singles out here.
What you do this weekend, man? How'd you pass the time?
Well, first of all, real quick, did you see that one video that went viral of a dude walking a girl like to what looked like an Uber in the snow? Did
Yeah,
you
I
see that
did.
one?
I did. Okay, so we don't know the context.
We
She
don't.
could, for all we know, she could have been an ER nurse and she just had to go to work.
Yeah, she could have been his friend, his sister, anybody.
I don't.
But for
You
the
putting
sake
your
of this,
sister in a taxi in a blizzard? Nah, you.
no, 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 no.
There's a
Yeah, you're
blanket
right.
in
You're
the
right.
closet. You sitting on this couch until the storm passes.
Yeah.
But again, she could have been an essential worker, something
Yeah.
that doesn't close. And again,
That shit took me out, yo.
what was the funniest thing I saw on it was, and I want to credit it because it's funny as
Yeah, I gotta
hell.
pull the tweet up.
Um,
Was it the one I sent you, or was it something else?
no, it was something else.
Okay, yeah,
Et Long Live Pele. I guess that's the soccer player.
oh, yeah,
He quoted, "Nobody ever sent an elite eater home mid blizzard. She needs to get in the lab this summer."
yeah, yeah. That's when I saw. Yeah, I saw that one. Yeah. Like immediately getting lab this summer, dog. That's crazy.
I find it difficult to believe, like
That was quite distasteful. If that
beyond
is if
distasteful,
that's what's
man.
really happened. I mean, you gotta, and that's the thing is like, I mean, we didn't see their faces, so you know. But that's kind of shit. If it happens to you, you don't tell anyone, like
No,
ever, as long as you live.
no. Let's just hope he paid for the taxi, you know?
Let's hope he sprung for the taxi. Yeah, let's hope he
Uh,
paid.
but no, I mean, look, again, this could be husband and wife, and she just had to go to work, and there's nothing anyone can do
That's
about it.
entirely possible.
So,
Yeah, that's entirely possible.
but this is the internet, so jokes are always going to be greater than
We
facts.
go. These jokes gonna fly regardless.
And it didn't look great. It really did. Because it
No,
was
because I saw that and I was
stomach
like, oh
down,
my
man.
God, that's
How'd you
whew.
even get a taxi in that?
That's the thing too, because who was actually driving this weekend for like Uber and shit? I mean, I hope nobody was, but you know,
You know what? That's a good segue. You see all this, don't order DoorDash, don't order this and that in the storm.
right.
And do people not understand how it works?
You mean in terms of like demand, like someone has to do it?
Yeah, I think people believe that you like clock in at the DoorDash store and you just sit around waiting for orders to come in because it's completely 100% opt-in as far as I
Right.
understand it.
No, yes,
So
yes.
if you don't order anything, they're just
Yeah.
driving around from not making money. So you're not helping.
Correct. Yeah.
So I just feel like it's
Um,
misguided advice because
yeah,
no one's just
people
sitting.
think,
Go ahead.
yeah, I was gonna say people are thinking, and it's a kind gesture. People are thinking that if you don't order, they won't drive.
Yeah.
But like you have to get out on the road to drive to see if there are orders.
Right.
So
They're
Well,
already
I mean,
out there.
you can turn, yeah, like if you're near restaurants, you can turn them on like at your house, like you know what I'm saying. But you still got to get out and drive. That like, there's going to be a radius that you're just not going to see certain shit, or they'll tell you like hotspots here, here, and here. You have to kind of drive to see the hotspots. So,
But it is
yeah,
100% opt-in. There's no requirement
correct,
that you, okay.
right,
It'd be, I could understand if it was like, don't order Pizza Hut because these are employees on the clock
right,
and they're sitting in the back warm playing Switch and then they get a call.
yeah,
Okay, cool. Yeah, don't fuck with them. But
yeah.
if they're out there delivering anyway,
They're
all you're
just going to
doing
be
is
out
taking
there.
money off their table. They're already out there.
That is true.
And if it was too
Yeah,
dangerous, they would not be out there.
they would
So
stop. Yeah,
you're only
ideally,
an
yeah.
asshole if you do it and don't tip. That's the only thing I
That
got.
is the thing. Yeah, but I mean, you'd be surprised how like so much people. I remember I worked at a movie theater once doing concessions, and there was like a hurricane, and it was really slow. So they were like, "Oh, we're about to lose power. We may lose power. We're slow. We're gonna close early. Send you guys home." People's power went out in the neighborhoods around us, so they all were like, "Oh, well, let's go to the movies." So we got fucking packed. And but eventually they were like, we're closing early. Our employees need to go home and see like if they have power and shit. People have kids, families, also like we're human beings. And like the employees were mad as fuck that they sent us home in a hurricane and closed closed the place down.
Well, yeah, that's again, you're there anyway, and that's
Yeah,
just different. I feel like I understand why they would what they're thinking and they think it's
right,
benevolent, like don't bring these people out on the roads.
right,
But again, it's not like you're clocking in at the DoorDash store and hanging out waiting on
correct.
orders to come
Yeah,
in and getting an hourly wage for it. If you don't do
right,
deliveries, you don't make any money. And so
correct.
I don't have a moral objection to ordering DoorDash or whatever deliveries during
Yeah,
storms. Just tip because they're out there anyway,
yeah,
you
they
know.
just tip well, and you know,
Be
but yeah,
understanding your food
actually,
gonna be cold, it's gonna take longer.
yeah, it's gonna take longer. You're gonna have to reheat
Right?
it. It is
Yeah.
what it is.
You should have prepared.
Correct.
But yeah. So what'd you do? How was your snow weekend?
So Saturday we mostly just spent like we've been preparing throughout the week, but ran more errands and shit Saturday, to cover up, the HVAC machine or HVAC units and all that kind of stuff, taking all the necessary precautions. So that was pretty much Saturday. And then once, the snow and sleet started falling, just kind of chilled. What did I end up doing? I think I just hung out and just watched movies. Honestly, I didn't really do much Saturday. I think I went to bed super early too because I just kind of hit the wall. It'd been a long week. And then Sunday, got up early because I went to bed early. I think I maybe did some gaming, uh, did a little bit of reading, some audiobooks, uh, watched a couple movies. I wanted to get my day done in terms of shit I need to do for the weekend before 3 o'clock because that's when the game started.
Yeah.
So 3 o'clock. I started watching the first game. That game was not. We'll get to the sports, but
I was gonna say we
it
have a
was
whole
not. It
segment for
was.
that.
Yeah, I was gonna say yeah. It was not. Didn't have me glued to the TV. So I went out at halftime with my siblings, and we went sledding, and took Charlie out in the snow and all that stuff. And I was out there till the end of game one. Uh,
I saw the pictures, man. It looked like a jolly time.
it was
Just
fun. It was not. It freezed over, iced kind of quickly. So it wasn't like the powdery snow, but it was good for sledding. So did that. Definitely almost cracked a rib on the curb, but but I
um
survived.
I dug up an old picture of me and my niece in a Minnesota. It wasn't even like a snowstorm, but just a regular winter.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And I sent it to some people like this would literally make Raleigh collapse onto itself.
Yeah, yeah.
But to be fair, that was real. That was not southern snow.
Right.
Like that was we got
Correct.
about I would say 4 to 5 inches, and it froze over. And
Yeah,
see,
depending on where yeah.
and it's not really the snow because that snow
It's the
gets
freezing
traction.
over.
It's the fact that it's like 30 to 35 and then it starts raining and
Right.
then it freezes over.
It melts and then refreezes.
That's bad.
Hmm.
And so
Crazy. Yeah. The crazy part was like we were out there sledding, people were like still driving on the road. It's like, dude, it's Sunday. Where the hell are you going? Like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, you can't sit inside for 10 minutes.
nah, man, I saw people like on the gram. I saw people asking like, "What's the move?" I'm like, dude, Come on, man. And I don't know if all of them were in Raleigh. Some of them were in, and I
Yeah,
don't know the specific. Like
right.
I have IG people all over the country, but most of them were in storm areas.
Areas, yeah, East Coast.
What's open tonight? Is so and so, bruh.
It's a Sunday.
It's
Nothing's open
just
today.
sit down, man. It's okay.
It's really crazy to people just cannot sit the fuck down. It
They
was
cannot
nuts.
sit down, man. They just
It was
cannot sit
like,
down.
where are you going? It's Sunday. It's dark. It's 6 o'clock. Like the cars were fucking swerving up the. I'm like, just go home. Just
Just
go
go
home and
home.
stay there. What are you
Sit
doing?
down. Sit down. It's okay to recharge,
Yeah, that
man. I
shit was
watched
ridiculous.
Saturday, play some video games. I'm trying to get into
Yeah.
this new game, Expedition 33. I don't know if that's going if we are match.
Okay. Okay.
And so played that for a few hours, wasn't really into it. Then I started
Yeah.
every year I watch all the best picture nominees. And so
Okay.
I have them all except for Marty Supreme. And so a lot of them I'd already, I mean, I've seen Sinners. I've seen one battle
Right.
after another. But
Yeah.
um, I saw Sentimental Value, and then I already saw If I Had Legs, I Would Kick You. And then I watched,
hmm
what's that one?
Hamnet.
I have not seen Hamnet.
Okay.
Let
I
me
gotta
see.
check that. I heard great things about that one.
It's in the
Uh.
theater. Secret Agent is what I watched because
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I heard that's really good. I heard that's really good.
I've already seen Sinners, already seen One Battle After Another, already seen
hmm
Begonia, already seen F1. Marty Supreme, I have not seen. Is he?
Yeah.
And I watched this weekend. I watched Sentimental Value, The Secret Agent, and Train Dreams. And so,
Okay.
what's left is
Train.
Frankenstein, Hamnet, and Marty Supreme. Hamnet and Marty Supreme are still in the theaters, so I might go see one of
Okay.
those tomorrow.
Frankenstein is cold as fuck. I'm actually
I
doing the
have a
book
copy
right
of that.
now.
Um, And so those are the best picture nominees because, I
Uh-huh.
live my raps. I believe you can't complain about who wins or loses if you haven't seen all the nominees. So,
I feel you. Yeah.
and then Sunday, just watch football. Did a lot of cooking, because,
hmm
wasn't shit else to do. But let me ask you this, man.
Right.
What was your favorite snowed in snack? Because
Um.
that's the weekend when you can just fuck it. I was snacking, man. Well, you go first. What was your favorite snack?
Yeah. Oh, I did work out Saturday. I didn't really. Well, certain Sunday we just walked up and down hills in the snow, so that's
That
pretty
was
much
a
a workout.
workout. You probably
That
got
was a
10,000
workout.
steps.
Close to it. Yeah, I got like 6,000, something like that. I'm trying to think. What did I? We made like hot chocolate in the crock pot. That's always good. What else did I have? Uh, I'm a big chip guy. But I don't like to eat like just a bunch of one type of chip. I'll mix a few different kinds of chips together and then
You get
I'll
like
eat
a
that.
Tupperware bowl.
Oh no, I just throw it on a paper plate and dug it out.
All right, all
So
right.
I had the like a little bit of Doritos, Frito-Lays, hot fries, sour cream and onion. I'll kind of, then I'll
So
maybe
your
throw
own
in like the salt and vinegar or something like that.
like a DIY Muncho bag, like the Muncho
Yeah,
bag
pretty
that's like
much.
pretzels, Flamin' Hots,
Yeah,
um,
yeah, yeah.
like nigga Gardettos. I got you.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. And then I had I'd forgotten that I had gotten this for Christmas or one in like a Christmas game, one of those big bags of like uh it's a big like burlap bag, but it's got like smaller bags of various types of popcorn in them, like kettle
Yeah,
corn. So I got into that a little bit, mixing those flavors up, so that was fun too. So I'd say that was probably my favorite of the storm snacks.
I got some spicier nacho Doritos. Got the big bag.
Nice.
Ate every last one of them hoes between Saturday and Sunday. I got these butter cookies that were pretty
Nice.
good. I was informed those are old man cookies, but
Butter cookies?
they were just like it was just
Huh.
like they're just butter cookies. They're old man cookies. But you know what? I'm an old man. Fuck it. I really, fucking
Oh, yeah, those are the old people cookies. Yeah, because they look like the cheese straws. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. And then spicier nacho Doritos, and then I got some gummy worms, and I made some cookies. And then
Nice.
Saturday night I made some jalapeno poppers and some chicken strips. That was good. And then Sunday,
Mm.
transition back into watching what I eat. So I just kind of
Yeah, I
kept it
can fuck up
clean.
some apps, man.
But yeah, apps are where it's at. So that was what I did during the snow, man. It was good. I'm
Yeah.
glad that well we probably have a little bit of snow next weekend, but
Yeah, so I think it's supposed to snow Saturday.
Yeah,
Or
but
so
nothing
Friday or Saturday.
like
Yeah, nothing
nothing like
crazy.
what we just
Yeah,
dealt with. So
yeah,
I will be glad to, leave this damn house. I've been in it for a little long. So
yeah. And I feel like maybe all the storm prep, it made the weekend go by faster. Honestly, it felt like it was like literally a 1 day weekend to me.
yeah, it does when you especially when you work remote like we do. Um
Yeah,
and if you don't break that up by leaving the house on the weekend, it can just feel like it's a blur. So
yeah. Honestly, I almost missed work Monday, yesterday. I woke up and like it felt like Sunday, and I
yeah.
almost went back to sleep.
Yeah, transitioning out of football season, trying to figure out what to do on weekends is going to be
Yeah, I gotta come up with a plan.
right. Stephen A. Marc Lamont Hill got into, or I guess there was a conversation about what was going on there. What happened?
Yeah, so I was watching the pod while I was working today, and Mark Hill basically posed the question to the cast, like, am I obligated to publicly criticize Stephen A., who's someone I consider a friend, someone who's like he basically said someone who's like looked out for me, when they didn't have to like in real life as opposed to just industry
Yeah.
shit. Um, and and then some of them were saying, well, if he's saying these things that you really don't agree with, and that if it was someone that you didn't fuck with, you would have already called them out for, you should call them out. And then some people were saying, well, uh, at this point, based on his views, could you call that person? Would you call that person? Is it fair to call that person, still call that person a friend to you?
Yeah.
Which I thought was kind of interesting. I personally, I just think that because Mark Lamont Hill's kind of built his name on taking certain stances and standing for certain things, I feel like at a certain point, like having beliefs and having conviction is not always convenient. And sometimes you got to say or do things that make you uncomfortable. And even if that includes, maybe putting a friendship at risk or um, at least holding someone accountable publicly. I mean, like this is not, like they were saying, like, oh, well, you should at least call him first or whatever. And it's like, well, Stephen A. didn't call you before he started saying this shit on on TV and on YouTube and on all these networks that he's going on. Um, but yeah, I just wondered, like, at what point does it become hypocritical if you're someone who's made your name, uh, taking certain stances, and you have someone who you're calling a friend whose stance is so diametrically opposed and so basically at this point antagonistic to everything you believe in, at least that we believe you believe in. At what point are you obligated to say something?
Okay, my first question would be, what does it mean by helped out his career? I mean, we'll never actually know, but
Yeah,
like
he
that
wouldn't
matters.
say specifically. Yeah.
I mean, did what did I put you down for a reference on the job, or did where it's just
Did I call right?
right? It's totally different. But like, what did I guess my question is, what is he supposed to stand out against Stephen A. on?
Like what specific stance or just
Yeah, like
what
I
should he
mean,
say?
Stephen A. is just to me, the internet like to do this thing where they pretend conservative black people don't exist.
Right.
And I don't find Stephen A. Smith's views to be atypical of the median person I've run into at the barbershop. So what's so
Mhm.
like why are people demanding Mark Lamont Hill? What did Stephen A. do, I guess, other than just being a normal center right black man?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's a right-wing grifter personally, but I mean, I haven't really heard anyone call
You,
for Mark
you
to say
think
anything.
anyone
That's
to
what's
the
weird to
right
me.
of Pete Buttigieg is a Nazi. Like, like you just like you
No, I
live in an
think I think
ideological bubble. Stephen A. Smith is not a right wing grifter. He holds standard center right views. Right wing grifter is like Candace Owens. Like
Okay, fair. That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. That's
you
fair. Uh,
you are in such an ideological bubble. You think like anyone to the right of Alyssa Slotkin is like running the Third Reich.
nah, well, for me, well, it depends on, you know, the specific issue. I think that's a thing. Like, I don't think Stephen A. is like, he's not like a bigot or anything like that. Oh, I wouldn't call him a bigot. I do think the timing is odd, and I think the people that he chooses to publicly speak against is telling and odd. Um,
I don't have any doubt that he's a Republican.
yeah, for sure, 100%.
But I think he's like, we've had this conversation before where like you know, a lot of conservative black people vote for Democrats out of like racial solidarity.
Right.
But if you just did like a blind what are your opinion on this issue, that issue, this
Right.
issue? They will sound like any other Republican, but they vote for Democrats out of
Correct.
racial solidarity. And as we get
For sure.
further away from the Civil Rights Act of 1968, that
Hmm.
racial
It
solidarity
dissipates.
hold falls, falls out. You weren't around for it, so you don't
Yeah.
understand.
It becomes
Stephen
less of a
A.
premium.
isn't, but yeah, and it's like people.
I was
Go
more
ahead.
so confused by Mark's confusion, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, he is known to, call out people, and I get it. But I also understand, there's this conversation, there's this clip I saw I think it was on MLK Day. It was Muhammad Ali and Martin Luther King.
Hmm.
Uh,
I think I saw that too. Yeah.
they were clearly two people who had different views of how things should be done. One's a
Right.
Muslim, one's a Christian. But, they had a meeting and they come out of the meeting and some reporters come out and they just go, what y'all talk about in there? And they're like, we're going to keep our disagreements in house. We're going to stand united here. And
Right.
that doesn't really bother me. Like I can understand why Marc Lamont Hill is like, we have a personal relationship. Whatever
Yeah.
disagreements I have with him, I'm going to keep personal. Everything isn't content. You don't know
Hmm.
if he's texting him these disagreements. But I just want
True.
like, what did they say specifically? Like what do they want him to call out Stephen A. Smith for doing?
The podcast,
Yeah.
his co-host, or
Yes.
I think, trying
Is
to
it
remember specifically. Well, that was the thing because some of them were saying like, okay, well, you should hit him up privately. Some of them were saying, well, it doesn't sound like like Mono was probably the most outspoken. I'll say she basically was saying like, you know, being a Republican or being conservative is in any other era in time, not literally, but that's like really a normal thing.
right?
In this day and age with this regime and this presidency and this, electoral cycle, that's not that's not what normal is now.
Yeah.
We have, them advocating for, killing American citizens in the street. We have them, ripping people away from their families, putting people in cages, things of that nature. So on, we know what's going on. And she was saying, that is these things have real life consequences. Like people are really being, affected and their rights are being ripped away. Some people's lives being ripped away. And, that's more important than whatever little favor he did for you, basically. Um, and she was the only person who took that stance, but I'm more so lean towards that ideology with this particular situation because again, this is not, this isn't Mitt Romney. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? This is not John McCain. This is not our parents' Republicans.
Yeah, that's another thing I love when people like someone will be like say that exact same thing. Like this is not the party of Mitt Romney and John McCain, and someone will be like, "No, it wasn't. It was just as bad then." And I'm like, "There's just no way you believe that." Like,
There's no way. There's no way.
like,
Like
you
I didn't want those guys to win, but I didn't think,
you didn't think the country would collapse if they won, you
yes.
know? I guess for me, I'm a results oriented person, and like,
Mhm.
what would it help if Mark Lamont Hill like was like Stephen A. Smith is I'm taking this stand. Would it stop ICE from
Uh-huh.
marching in Minneapolis tomorrow? No.
No,
So
it would
like,
not.
like I don't. I get. To me, it's a very like West Wing TV show esque
Mhm.
belief in the world. Like if Mark Lamont Hill just gave one good speech, it would all be better. It's like no, that's some TV shows, man. Like, I need you to. What was it? They
Yeah.
asked Ant Edwards to like
Oh yeah, I
speak.
saw that.
I'm
He
like,
was
what the
just like,
fuck you want
damn.
Ant Edwards to do, man?
Yeah. First of all, he's literally the last NBA, not last, maybe the second last NBA player I ever want to hear talk about this type of issue. I'm not gonna hold you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
We
just
did,
they asked the wrong guy the question.
you know.
Compared to what he could have said, that was about as good as it was gonna get.
Yeah, I'd say all the time, like, think about like one of like the five dumbest conversations you ever had in your life. They were all with
Mhm.
athletes, like you know.
Right.
You know, you
Athletes,
don't want
barbershop
these dudes
niggas,
speaking, man.
and street niggas. Like that's just what it is, man.
I just, I get. Look, Stephen A. Smith. Obviously, I disagree with him on a lot of things, but
Yeah.
I just what bothers me is this, especially amongst black progressives when they act like it's like what the people were like freaking out about Chris Broussard's false equivalence tweet, and it's like, have
Oh
you
yeah.
never met a black religious person? Like, are we
Yeah,
gonna pretend? Like, are we really gonna pretend
but
like Chris
that tweet
Broussard holds atypical views amongst
no,
Black
he does not
Baptist
he does not
Christians? Like,
listen, black people, like I always say personally, I always say black people are the homophobia, what white people are the racism. That's it's a joke, but um,
I always say is
now I
that,
will say that the timing of
well,
that tweet was horrible, and the comparison he made was obviously insanely obtuse
yeah,
at
I
best.
mean, I always say all the time, Black people in general are more liberal than white people in general. But Black Democrats are
Hmm.
more conservative than white Democrats. And that's just true. Like if you look at
Yeah.
all of our voting patterns, like Black Democrats are the moderating force within the Democratic Party.
Hmm.
But, you know, every so often there's like a silent pact amongst like Black Southern religious voters and white liberals in Brooklyn to just not talk about LGBT issues because
Basically, yeah. That's really because that's where the divide is.
yeah,
That's where they disagree.
Black people are there's a strong strain of social conservatism amongst uh the Black Democrats, specifically
Yeah.
Black religious Southern voters. And what Chris Broussard said is not atypical. And if you go home for Thanksgiving, you hear it too.
No, I'm
So
about
I
to
don't
say if you were to ask if you're black and in the South, your grandmother probably feels the same way.
just go to a
So,
barbershop. You're not like
oh
you
yeah, well
look
that too. Yeah. Of course.
like I ask Deion Sanders if men can get pregnant and report back to me what he says.
Right.
Like we just like to pretend this isn't a thing because it doesn't fit our like
You
black
must say I'm
progressive
pretty sure
worldview.
Dion's a Trump supporter. From what I've heard that he's a Trump supporter. So
Trump made
um,
gains against all minority voters in 2024. It shatters
yeah,
a lot of Democratic voter worldviews because they like to think that people of color are just liberal by
default.
default. But it's just not my experience. Like the overwhelming majority of Black people vote for Democrats, but that
Yeah,
doesn't mean they're liberal. Especially on social issues. Like that's where you're going to get the big divide. And I
yeah.
saw Chris Broussard's tweet and I was like, terribly timed.
I had to read it a few times because the way he worded it was
False
so
equivalence. But he's
terrible.
the one, LZ Granderson was an openly gay
Gay
basketball
sports
writer
writer.
for
Yeah,
ESPN. And like Chris Broussard wrote an article like 20 years ago. This was before the Great Awakening, where he was like,
right.
I played basketball with him, I dap him up, but I hate his lifestyle.
Oh yeah, I think I remember that. I think I
So
remember
like
that.
it
Yeah.
it wasn't even like,
He said a few things like that publicly.
he's
Yeah,
he's a
he's quite devout
it there's a strong tension between religious people and LGBT issues, and that
for
often
sure.
sometimes bubbles through the surface because I mean, I'm not a religious person myself, but I read quite a few
Mhm.
religious texts, and they're quite explicit in their anti-LGBT
Yes. Yeah.
ideology. So there's a strike. I think what a lot of liberals think religious people are just like pretending or they don't believe that like they believe that stuff, but like a lot of people just have genuine belief in their religious teachings, and if they do,
Yeah, I'm about to say, yeah, yeah, black people are, well, I'll say religious people can be presented as loving until you mention certain groups.
well, it's just like you see it.
Which is part of how we got to how where we are today.
Well, it's just you see it with pro-life pro-choice people. Like
Mhm.
pro-choice people think pro-life people are like running like some game. They're like, oh, you just want women barefoot and you just want this and that. And it's like,
Mhm.
no, man, they're just genuinely religious. And if you genuinely believe God created all life and life begins at conception, then it just stands to reason that you'd be pro-life. Like that's honestly the most coherent, logical view in the conservative thing that I can think of. I disagree with it wholeheartedly,
Interesting.
but it's not
But
incoherent.
say because well, that's the
Like,
thing because I find those same people to also be anti assistance for the children that are would then be born who maybe whose parents did not are not able to provide for them. So it's how pro life are you? Or is it just once the baby's born, then it's cool, and then whatever happens, happens. Fuck it.
well, I mean, those people, we're talking about genuine believers. Those people usually run churches where they provide all those kind of services. They just don't believe the government should provide those services. But they like, if
Well,
you've ever
that's
talked
fair.
to like a real pro-lifer, they genuinely believe it's murder. And if you
No, yeah,
genuinely
get it.
believe that millions of babies are being murdered every year, then nothing else in politics would matter for you. Sure, I'll vote for Donald Trump. He's the one who's not going to be murdering babies. Like, I may disagree with that, and I do disagree with that, but it's not
Right.
incoherent. It makes sense to me. Like
Hmm.
it just if you genuinely believe that God creates all
Yeah.
life, then yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't, but that makes more sense to me than like some of the gun laws. Like, that makes more sense to me than um, making
Well, yeah,
healthcare a
that's what's
free
weird to me.
market
That
economy.
that's the thing, because like, oh, you're pro-life. Oh, but and until it infringes upon your Second Amendment rights, which it actually doesn't.
Well, I mean, I think a
Ever.
lot of like the worst. What did Obama
Like
say?
they're
The worst.
pro-life unless it comes to a school shooting. That's cool though.
Well, no, I will. So like, I think it was Bomani who said the worst word on the internet is y'all because you just throw a whole bunch of people in there. Like, I imagine there are pro-life people who don't like school shootings either. You just like we only get two parties in this country, and if you believe that,
Yeah.
uh, if you believe that abortion is murder, you're just gonna vote for. You only get two choices, and one is
Right.
anti the abortion, and one is pro. So you're just gonna vote for the
Bro.
pro and deal with what it's a package deal. Um,
Yeah.
so I mean, I don't know how we got here, but I think a lot of progressives and a lot of liberals, and this is something I had to learn myself, should just take, especially religious people at face value. They genuinely believe it. It's not a trick
Oh
they're
yeah.
running.
That's yes, for sure.
And so start your politics from there. It's like, they genuinely believe the LGBT stuff is an abomination. And to
Oh yeah,
someone like Chris
100%. Yeah.
Broussard, it's not a false equivalence, which I find to be absurd, but
Right.
they believe that stuff, man.
They do.
Uh, Feedback from listeners. On a segment after segment, we might even
Yeah.
cut.
Word from our sponsors.
We got some feedback. What'd they say?
Yeah, one of my buddies has been listening to the pod recently. He hit me up and he was like, let me just pull the text up. He actually has a pod where Sav's in for, if for the listeners they want to check that out. It's a primarily sports pod. They're my dogs. But he hit me up the other day and he said, yo, just want to say I've been tuning into y'all's pod. Y'all niggas funny as fuck. Keep that joint going, son.
Thank you.
Shout out to you, Dre. He was on my birthday pod actually. With the
Appreciate
gang.
it.
Yeah, so that was dope to hear. I sent the pod to a friend last week, and she's been listening to it. And she was like, oh, like she heard like one of the episodes. She was like, wait, that's it? It's 30 minutes. Where's the rest? Like, do you have when's the next one coming out? And I was like, oh, we have 100 episodes literally already out. Like, you
Hit the
can binge for the
dial.
rest of the year. And yeah,
Um, we've been talking to these mics for a long time now. So, well, we
yeah.
thank you. Thank you.
Like it's like she started listening right away because she was like texting shit from like quotes from like early in the Best Man review episode, and shit. And then she got to the stories I was telling about the date, and she was like, "This is stressing me the fuck out." She's like, "I think I need to third wheel your next date."
I would. I'm not gonna lie. The social post about that is by far the one I've watched the most from the pod. I just could not. I just could. I still can't even believe that she said you brought me out here with no money. I would have like
Yeah, man.
just. I think.
I wanted to evaporate. Like
Yeah.
if Thanos had snapped, I would have prayed that he had turned me to ash.
Just don't. That's so bad. I don't even know.
It's actually I've watched that clip a million times too, because like first you were like laughing a lot, and then once I got into detail about painting the picture of the date and the awkwardness, you were like your jaw hit you were like
Dude, to that. Look,
and then when you pieced together who it was, you were like, oh my God, no.
yeah, it's a rough one, man. That's really bad. And the thing is,
Yeah.
she handled that in an inelegant way.
So like she just made it worse, bro. She really, really
You
did, man.
know,
Because it was again, it wasn't a situation. I knew it like I was lying, but even after I got it fixed, it was still so awkward. Like we just couldn't recover. Um,
because it just it makes me feel like because when you say that, if she said that to me, I'm like, damn, did you want to go at all? It's like, you weren't doing me no fucking favors coming out with me, like.
Yeah, it was very odd, right? Okay, and then like she didn't make it like there wasn't a whole lot of I won't say compassion. There was no compassion, but it just I know I would how I would have handled it. if the
Yeah.
roles were reversed, and I would have done anything to make sure that that person felt comfortable. That like clearly it's embarrassing, like you know what I mean. And it was more embarrassing that I had the money than it would have been if I hadn't, because I would have gotten what I deserved. You know what I mean?
Right.
So yeah, it was just like, oh man, this is just not okay.
You know what it
In a
sounds? It
weird way,
sounds. Go ahead. Sorry.
it almost just signified that we should not have been on the date. Like honestly,
Clearly,
like looking back at it now,
I just want to know, like, has this happened to her before? Because it gives.
right?
I hate saying it gives. It feels like, oh, here
That's
we
something
go
that is,
again.
yeah. That's it. Did feel like that. It did because that was like her first like kind of instinct, and it was like,
How
no,
many
the
times
shit
has this
just ain't
happened to you,
working.
young lady?
Yeah, because I didn't know how to deal with it because it never happened to me before. So it's just
She's like, I know you didn't bring me out here with no money. Like, you sound like you're a little used to this.
a little bit. It did. She did sound like she was a little used to it. I've also been rewatching the clip of the stripper Friendsgiving. Your reaction to that was pretty priceless.
You know, I feel like I'm with the people are with me on that one. Turning Friendsgiving, a wholesome gathering of people from college, into a stripper house party is just it's 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 lowbrow. It really is. um
It's funny because our brows were quite raised.
yeah, I bet. Pause. Ryan Davis, Shannon Sharpe, what they talk about?
Yes, there's a clip going around about Ryan Davis talking about his relationship with his daughter. He's basically was saying like it's become very transactional, and he was saying that she it feels like she's not as focused on spending quality time with him as she is more so just like, hey dad, can I have this or whatever? I want that. And he's talking about this on the podcast with Shannon Sharpe. And I like when I first saw I saw the headline before I heard the audio or saw the video, right? And I was like, they still holding about celebrity kids, whatever. So I'm like, oh, maybe this is some ungrateful kid who he's lost touch with, who's just only hitting him up for money. And then I did some digging, and the child he's referring to is 11 years old. And that just changed everything. And
Yeah,
I'm
well,
like,
yeah.
you just sound I don't like calling people names, but you just sound so fucking pathetic when you do that kind of shit. First of all, it's your child, and you're like trying to eat her on the internet. Like,
Yeah.
she's gonna grow up and see this. Her friends are gonna see this. Her friends' parents are gonna see this.
Imagine
You,
asking your dad for like a new Hot Wheels track and he's on the podcast the next time. These niggas just get all in my pockets, just asking me for they don't want to love me.
right?
Damn, pops. Like,
I
can't
can
is nothing
like,
sacred?
like imagine you're in third grade and your dad's on the podcast. Like, he didn't even ask me what I wanted for Christmas.
Yeah. Tired of this little nigga. Um, you know what about like one of my favorite tweets was a guy who was like, I'm paraphrasing because I don't have it in front of me. It's like
Yeah.
people always talk about deadbeat dads, but nobody ever asks if the baby has bad vibes. So it's
That's
basically him
crazy.
was just like, man, my daughter got bad vibes and she's
Yeah,
11 years
just bad juju.
old. I
That
just,
shit was insane. I'm like, yeah, if I was the mom, I'd be like, you know what? We need more child support over here.
yeah.
He was like on the verge of tears and shit. I'm like, what the hell is going on here?
I swear I'm like you though. When I was scrolling through, I thought it was like, some 35-year-old uh
Leech or
failure to
whatever. Like,
launch and it's
yeah.
a fucking literal baby.
Yes.
And he's like, man, I'm
She's
tired
literally
of
just a
it.
girl.
He's like, I'm tired of paying these bills. She's always asking me for stuff. I gotta feed her every day. Like,
And he's like, I just want to spend time with her. I'm like, it sounded to me like you want to skimp on some money. Yeah.
I don't think he's spending a lot of time with her. I'm just gonna go out on a limb and say
Yeah,
that.
that was pretty funny. I did see some interesting takes though on TikTok. A lot of black women responding to it and criticizing him as they should. And a lot of them were saying like this is what happens when some men grow up who didn't get a lot of women attention,
Yeah.
and I'm not gonna word exactly the way she said it, but she basically was just saying like some of the girls on the TikTok were basically saying like some men um, feel like they basically favor certain daughters based on what the daughter looks like, or based on what kind of features she has. Like if she resembles the preference that they thought that they would be able to have before they made the money type shit. Um, I thought that was kind of interesting because she basically the girl was basically saying like, is he just doing this because you know he thinks that or he's not used to women liking him for him, and this is just some triggering wound for him, and he's just projecting onto his child. And I'm like, that's actually not a bad guess there because the way he reacted, it was quite unnatural to me.
Well, so
Um,
a lot of men, especially men who participate in, baby daddy, baby mama culture,
yeah,
treat the child based on how he feels about the mother at the time.
yes,
And so,
yes.
my guess is Ryan Davis does not feel great about the mom at the time. Uh, I'll never forget the time, man. I was at a bar, none of the bars we go to. It was just
Mm,
a bar that was off the beaten path. It was a couple years ago, and I'm sitting there having a drink, watching the game, and this guy comes in. We shooting the shit, talking about the game, and he's
mhm,
like, "Yeah, man, I just I got a 3 week old baby. It was either 3 or 6, I don't know, but 3 week old baby."
mhm.
And I'm like.
Why are you here?
I don't notice, dude, but I'm like, I don't mean to get in your business or nothing, but if it's
Yeah,
doing too much, please tell me, shut up. We'll go about it. But like, why are you out? He was like, well, no, see, me and the mom ain't together. We co-parented. It's her weekend. And I'm like, how you co-parent a 3 week old?
that's
He
that
goes,
sounds like babysitting to me.
he was like, well, no, like I asked her if she needed anything, and I had to tell him, like, bro, she needs something. At three
Yeah,
weeks old, you could be doing laundry, you could be getting something to eat, you
changing
could
the
be
diapers.
cleaning the house, feeding,
Yeah,
diaper, even if she's breastfeeding or whatever, and obviously you can't breastfeed the baby, but
right.
like laundry, the babies go through so much laundry. You could do laundry,
Hmm.
you could clean up the place, you could make sure that she's eating, you could
Hmm.
be present. There's
There's
something you could
something
be
to
doing.
being present alone is
Be
half not
another
half the battle,
adult
but
in the house with another. You have two hands and you could just be around. Grab me the remote. Grab me this towel.
yes,
Grab me this. This baby's on top of me. I don't want it to wake up. Can you grab this? There's something you could be doing
right.
rather than
And if
sitting
if
here
if
drinking beer
not
with me. And I hope he
correct,
took it to heart because he
and if
did.
not
He
directly for the child, for the child's mother.
Yeah. Who at this? I get it. Y'all ain't together, but like, dude, you cannot co-parent a 3 week old. You
Yeah.
just you gotta
No,
buckle down
no.
until
Yeah,
further notice. Like,
that's yeah. I don't.
um, I
God.
just hope I've never seen that man again. I didn't even get his name, but I hope I
Mhm.
got through to him because he did. He was like, he called me OG. I fucking hate that shit. But he was like, I see what you're saying. I was like, he didn't tab out and leave, but he definitely said, "I see what you're saying." So
Yeah, it's really disturbing and annoying to me this cavalier attitude people have towards like parenthood and shit. Because like people treat marriage like it's a bigger deal than parenthood, and I mean, marriage is a big deal and it's a
yeah,
huge life altering thing and decision, but it's nothing compared to child like parenthood and raising a child and who you have a child with. Like that to me, like you can undo a marriage very pretty easily. You can't undo. I mean, well, after birth, you can't undo. A child.
no, no, you cannot. Yeah, it was just like he was like, well, it's her weekend. I'm like, dog, the baby's 3 weeks old.
That's
That's not.
insane.
There's no weekends when you cannot co-parent a newborn
You
baby.
can't part-time, you cannot be a part-time parent. That's not how that works.
I promise you, there's something you could be doing right now,
Yeah.
even if it's just another set of hands. There's something you could be doing right now.
And as the
Just
father, you should be the primary set of hands. So
yes.
like it's crazy to me how people treat that kind of stuff. Like they're just so cavalier with it. It's like, dude, that's a life, bro.
Yeah. I mean, people just bring babies into chaos.
They do.
So.